The day is decided before most men wake up. Not in the meeting, not in the gym, not in the work session you have scheduled for the afternoon. In the first 30 minutes after the alarm. Win those 30 minutes, and the day belongs to you. Lose them, and you spend the next 16 hours trying to recover something that was decided before breakfast. Think about your last 10 mornings. Not the mornings you planned, the mornings that actually happened. The alarm went off, and in the 30 seconds between the sound and your decision, something happened. Either you rose or you negotiated. 5 more minutes. I am tired. I worked hard yesterday. I deserve this. The negotiation. Every man knows it. The internal conversation that happens in the dark, before the day has started, before anyone is watching, where the entire trajectory of the next 16 hours is quietly decided by whether you win or whether comfort does. And here is what nobody tells you about that negotiation. It is not about sleep. It is not about tiredness. It is not about whether your body genuinely needs 5 more minutes. It is about who is in charge. The man who rises on the first alarm is not a man with more energy than you. He is not a man with better genetics. He is not a morning person by nature. He is a man who decided, long before the alarm, that the negotiation was not an option. That decision, made once, before the morning arrived, is the entire difference between the man who wins the day and the man who spends it trying to catch up. Why the morning is the battlefield. Here is why the morning matters more than any other part of the day. It is the only hour that belongs entirely to you. Before the emails, before the obligations, before the 100 small demands that have nothing to do with the man you are building, and everything to do with the man the world needs you to be. That hour, before any of that arrives, is the only hour where the agenda is yours, where nobody is asking, where nobody is needing, where the only voice in the room is the one deciding what kind of man today produces. Protect that hour like it is the only thing you own. Because right now, it might be. But here is the other reason, the psychological reason, that makes the morning more important than any other window. Momentum is built in the first act. Not the first hour, the first act. The first choice you make in the morning sets the psychological tone for every choice that follows. A man who wins the first battle of the morning approaches the second battle differently. Not because he has more energy, because he has evidence. Evidence from 30 minutes ago that he is the kind of man who wins. And a man with that evidence, fresh, warm, undeniable, makes different choices for the rest of the day. Conversely, a man who loses the first battle, who negotiates with the alarm, who surrenders the morning to comfort and scrolling, carries that loss into every decision that follows. Not as a thought, as a feeling. The specific, quiet feeling of a man who already lost something today, before the day began. What most men do with the morning. Let me show you the average morning of the average man who feels stuck. Alarm goes off. Snooze. Alarm goes off again. Phone picked up. Before his feet touch the floor, before a single word is spoken, before his own mind has had 30 seconds to exist without input, someone else's life is flooding his brain. The notifications, the scroll, the carefully curated highlight reels of other men's progress, entering his mind at the most vulnerable moment of the entire day. The first thing his brain processes in the morning is evidence that other men are ahead of him, and he has not even stood up yet. By the time he does, his agenda has been replaced by everyone else's, His priorities have been quietly overwritten
Now,
by the
looking at our
algorithms.
Q3
He
projections,
does not notice. It happened before he was fully awake. And he carries that into the kitchen, into the commute, into the first meeting. Reactive, distracted, already behind, before the day has started. That is not a morning. That is a surrender, dressed up as a routine. The philosophy. Here is the truth that the men who operate at the highest level already know. The morning is not preparation for the day. The morning is the day. Everything that happens after 9 a.m. is either built on a foundation laid before 7, or it is built on sand. The man who controls his first hour controls his narrative. Not the narrative other people tell about him. The narrative he tells about himself. The evidence he collects, in the quiet, before the world arrives, that says, I am the kind of man who wins the first battle. That evidence, compounded daily, becomes something no external validation can create, and no external criticism can destroy. Self-trust. The specific, unshakable knowledge that you are capable of doing what you said you would do, because you have proof, fresh proof, from this morning. No one is coming to build that for you. No alarm app, no accountability partner, no perfectly designed morning routine downloaded from a podcast. Just the decision, made before the alarm, that the first 30 minutes of every day belong to the man you are becoming. Not to the phone, not to the snooze button, not to the comfort that has already taken enough from you. To you. So what does winning the morning actually look like? Not what it looks like in a productivity video. Not the cold plunge and the green juice and the 2-hour optimized routine that requires no job and no family and no real life competing for the time. What it looks like for a man with real obligations and real limitations and a real life that does not pause to accommodate his self-improvement. It looks like this. He rises on the first alarm. No negotiation. No snooze. No 5 more minutes. Not because he feels energized, because the decision was made the night before, and the morning version of him was not given a vote. He does not touch the phone for the first 30 minutes. Not because phones are evil, because the first 30 minutes belong to him, and the phone belongs to everyone else. He does one thing, one non-negotiable thing, that belongs to the man he is building. Not the man the world needs, the man he is becoming. 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 if the life allows, but never 0. The protocol. Here is the morning protocol. Non-negotiable. Starts tomorrow. Step 1. Set the alarm for the same time every morning. Not when you feel like it, not earlier on good days and later on bad ones. The same time. Every morning. The body learns when to wake up, but only if you give it a consistent signal. Inconsistency is not flexibility. Inconsistency is the decision not fully made. Step 2. Rise on the first alarm. 4 seconds. That is the window. The alarm sounds, you count to 4, you stand. Not because 4 seconds is magical, because 4 seconds is not enough time for the negotiation to form. The negotiation needs more than 4 seconds. Give it less. Stand before it arrives. Step 3. No phone for the first 30 minutes. Not in another room, not face down on the desk, not in your hand. 30 minutes. The world will survive without your attention for 30 minutes. Your morning will not survive with the phone in it. Step 4. Do the one thing. The non-negotiable input from your discipline system. Before coffee if possible, before conversation if possible, before anything the world asks of you always. This is the act that builds the evidence. This is the vote cast for the man you are becoming. 20 minutes minimum, never zero. Step 5. After the one thing, 60 seconds of silence. Not meditation, not breathing exercises, not a gratitude journal. 60 seconds of sitting with what you just did, acknowledging it, letting it register. Because the evidence only becomes self-trust if you let yourself feel it land. Most men move too fast past their own wins. 60 seconds. Let it land. Then start the day. Tomorrow morning, the alarm will go off. And in the 4 seconds after that sound, before the negotiation forms, before comfort makes its case, before the reasonable voice explains why today is not the day, you will have a choice. Not between sleeping and waking, between the man who surrenders the morning and the man who decides it is his. That choice, made tomorrow, in the dark, before anyone is watching, is the most important choice you will make this week. Not the meeting, not the workout, not the decision you have been planning to make for the last 3 weeks. The 4 seconds after the alarm. Win those and watch what the day becomes after them. If this found you at the right moment, do not watch it and sleep through tomorrow morning. Tonight, before you sleep, set the alarm. Not a range, one time. Write down the one thing you will do in the first 30 minutes. Put the phone somewhere that requires you to stand up to reach it. Then sleep, knowing that tomorrow morning, in 4 seconds, the day will be decided. In the comments, write your alarm time and the one thing you are doing in the first 30 minutes. 2 lines, right now, below. Then come back tomorrow and tell us if the morning was won. Subscribe to Savage Rise. Every week this month, one piece of the system. Next week, why you destroy your own progress every time you get close. Hit like if you are setting the alarm differently tonight. Share this with one man whose mornings are costing him more than he knows. The war starts tomorrow. At the alarm. 4 seconds. Win it. The man who lost the morning lost the day. The man who won the 4 seconds won everything after.